After learning about Dr. Martin Luther King and hearing his I Have a Dream speech, in which we heard about his vision of what America could look like, today we're going to take that same concept and I want you to share your vision of what America can look like right on top of an American flag. Our first step is going to be to turn our paper sideways so that it is longer going from left to right. And then we're going to draw three lines starting from the top left corner and draw a diagonal line down towards the right bottom and come to about the middle of the page and draw another one that comes off of the corner, and finally a third one that takes up just that last corner in the top right. What we've essentially done is just created three folds or waves in the flag. Come about halfway down the left side of the paper and draw a wavy line to the first diagonal line. Then move your pen down a little bit and draw another wavy line, and then a straight line right back up to the top. We're going to come back to that same corner and continue that wavy line. And again, take it to the diagonal line, come down, create another wave, bump down, and once again another wave. We're starting to build our stripes, and we'll just repeat this wavy line pattern, and every time we want those lines to offset from one another so that they never meet each other exactly where those diagonal lines are. And what you can see is that we start to create this wavy flag pattern that we will start to color in a little bit later. We're going to just continue this pattern all the way down our paper till we get all the way down to the bottom right hand corner and run out of space. Our next step is to draw some stars in the blue rectangle that we created up in the top left. And you can always try to draw your stars out in pencil first if you want to, and your stars don't have to be perfect. Because of the fact that our flag is extending off way beyond the edges of our paper, we also don't have to draw all 50 stars. We can put in maybe 6 or 9, however many you think are going to fit in there, but you can feel okay with them going off of the edges of the paper. We'll start to color in the blue portion of our flag here, and you can use whatever you want. You could use markers or crayons or colored pencils. I wanted to create a little bit of shading and some variation in my blue, so I used two different colored pencils, a dark blue and a light blue. And you can see when I get right to the right of that diagonal line, I'm going to make that area a little bit darker, like a shadow. And then as I go further to the right, I'm going to let my blue get a little bit lighter as I go on. And that's going to make it look like it's kind of wavy. Here's the true part where you really get to be an artist. You're going to be filling all of the red stripes in with different words and expressing different things that you want to see in America. I'm going to start with just writing out in some simple lines the word change here. And once I've drawn it out in a red colored pencil, I'm going to come back and I'm going to make my letters much bolder by tracing back over them too. And it's okay if some of my letters don't fit. They can kind of run off over that wave and off to the other side. And I'll just continue going and I'll write the word love in here. And again, I'm just going to start with some really simple lines, but then you'll see how I come back and I start to create a much bolder effect on my letter by tracing back over the lines and coloring them in more. At this point, I'm going to fill out all the rest of the red stripes and fill each one with different words that I feel express something I'd like to see in our America. You can use whatever words you want. I want this part of the project to be all your own. So don't feel like you have to use any of the words that I'm using. I want all of the words that you use to be something that you came up with all on your own. I'm going to take a black marker and I'm going to start to go back over some of the lines of my stripes and just make them a little darker. It's going to help make them a little bit more noticeable and pop out. And I'm also going to do the same thing with some of the stars that I created. I'm just going to go back and outline them. I'm also going to go back and outline around some of my letters and make them pop out a little bit more. And once I've done that and kind of created an outline around my letters, I'm going to go back and then start to color in all of my red stripes with some red in the background as well. The other thing that you can see that I've done along those wavy lines or those folds is I brought some of that blue down to create a little bit of a shadow, so it kind of looks more like a wave. So I'm just going to go back, trace around all of my letters, fill the rest of my red stripes in with more red, and we'll see what this looks like when I'm all done.